I'm Brian Andrews, farm up here on Horse 7 outside of Prosser, Washington. We grow sweet corn and wheat and beans and peas, dry beans and dry peas, and I've had the Weed It system since 2021, so a couple years now. And so far it's been working great. We got the blue Quattro system. And yeah, so far it's been great. On bare ground, we're seeing 80% savings in our chemical costs. And especially last year with Roundup prices the way they were at over $50 a gallon, this thing dang near paid for itself in a year.
About like the rates that you used before and after, and like how much further your tank's going.
Yeah, so usually on broadcasts, I'm putting on anywhere from 10 to 12 gallons per acre with a rate of about 20 ounces per acre of Roundup or glyphosate. And with the Weed It, I'm putting on a little more. I'm putting on anywhere from 40 to 60 ounces per acre. And before I was able to do about 80 acres per tank, and now it's anywhere from 2 to 400 acres a tank, and it's an 800-gallon tank. So,
are you running a hotter mix just for resistance issues?
Yeah. So I tried doing the same rate on some of them, and some of those, to knock down some of those big weeds. The sow thistle we have up here is terrible, and so to knock down those big weeds, we try to do like a 48 ounce, 52 ounce rate. And with the Weed It, being that you're saving already, you can bump that up to half a gallon, dang near. So,
how much do you think you're using on a per acre now? Like a gallon per acre?
It depends. I'd say spring spray after our first broadcast, anywhere from 2 gallons, sometimes 5 if it's kind of thick. I've been seeing 0.5 acres or 0.5 gallons per acre on some spots. Yeah, so instead of 80 gallons per spray load, I'm able to do 400 or 500 acres, somewhere around there in some areas.
What kind of weeds are you fighting the most out here?
Sow thistle is a big one. It showed up a few years ago, and it's just a giant pain. We got a lot of China lettuce up in our dry land. Russian thistle, got a lot of Russian thistle. Canadian thistle is patchy, but it's out here quite a bit, and kochia. Kochia's a big one too.
So is the Weed It helping you kind of get ahead of that resistance a little bit? Are you seeing improvement?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, like this year, so usually our bean circles get hit really hard with that sow thistle, and I was able to throw an extra spray on before planting to clean things up, where usually I just do a broadcast. If there's a little bit of weeds out there, go and plant, we'll get them later. Well, with this, you can make sure that the field's nice and clean before planting, and our sow thistle problem was pretty minimal. It was out there, but not near as bad as it usually is. If the weeds are, well, I try to go slow regardless, just because, I don't know, looking at it while if I go 8 miles an hour, 9 miles an hour, I look at it, I'm like, that's got to be missing some, but it really doesn't. So, but I can go, if I'm going 8 miles an hour, the nozzles that I have, which are the TH 3.5s or TG 3.5s, I'm putting on like 15 gallons per acre. So that's a huge improvement too. We're putting on 15 gallons an acre. Before I'd have to, with the nozzles I have, go 5-6 miles an hour. So
yeah.
It really, that helps out a lot. Well, I try to go out there when they're small, but I also want a good flush. So once everything's up, you'll get weeds that are a foot tall, you'll get weeds that are just coming up, and kind of depends. But even those big weeds, I get, tumbleweeds that are like beach balls, and especially with the paraquat mix and the weed it, just because it's dumping so much on, it just saps them. So size doesn't really, it's not really an issue. The cone nozzles really help out, because before we were doing the flat fans, and these cones are nice because they just cover the whole area instead of that, you know, flat part. But yeah, it seems like it's really able to get under the tumbleweed, or I guess if that makes sense, to the, seems like it's able to get all the way around the tumbleweed, where before it was just kind of hitting the top.
Mm-hmm.
And 21, we were starting to see hikes in chemical prices, and last year was the real big one. That was we were seeing $54 a gallon Roundup that used to be $9 a gallon. So we started looking for different chemistries that we could use, and but then after crunching the numbers, you could still use Roundup, and you're paying pennies on the dollar with the weed to throw it on there. So really, I'd argue that this thing paid for itself in about a year with those high chemical prices. Usually I guess for example, I'll buy 5 totes of glyphosate for a year. I think this year and last year I bought 5 for the entire year, and I still got some left over. Or I guess 5 for the last 2 years, and I still got some left over.
And then you're using it on your irrigated ground before planting?
Yes. Yeah, so usually I would spray 3 times a year. I do a pre-emergent with a burn down, and then we'll do we'll plant, and then do the in-season spray, and then post-season spray. Well, now in between that pre-emergent, burn down, and season spray, I'm able to take the weeded out there and just get those little guys that are, you know, kind of straggling. So that's really helped us clean up the fields too. Before we just let them grow and maybe go pull them later, but this makes it a lot easier and saves us money, saves us labor too. We don't have to have a crew out there pulling weeds in the middle of the season. So if you're considering it, it's a hefty investment, but it really does pay for itself. So I mean, within a year, 2 years, I mean, this thing, you'll be making money off of it. So, or at least it'll help with your profit margins. So